AM 900 CHML is giving you more news when you want it most. Non-stop news weekday mornings 5 till 9, weekday afternoons 3 to 6, with weather and traffic on the 9s. Hear about it first from AM 900 CHML, Hamilton's news talk leader.
Good morning, welcome to TERRA at Home, and well, we're just a few days away from spring, so we thought we'd come in the retail area here of TERRA, the Waterdown location. We're here with Colleen Zimmermann, and we're talking about planting with kids as we move into spring and of course into summer eventually. And this is a really great area here that we have set up where kids can come and kind of dig in the dirt.
Yeah, it's all kid size, so that it's that their level.
Sure, and it's a nice way to, even at a very young age, we both have young kids, to start introducing them to this whole world of ours of horticulture and planting and just getting the kids out in the dirt.
For sure.
Right? So let's talk about some of the ideas and the concepts you have too. I mean, the second I saw this, I thought, this is great. My 3-year-old would love this. But we want to do a nice slow introduction with them so they enjoy it. And you have some great ideas here for introducing seed planting to them.
Yes, there's lots of different types of seeds. You can grow flowers or vegetables, and it's a great concept. There's lots of different seeds that grow quickly, so they can see results within a week.
That's good, because kids are like, they want to see it happen.
Exactly, right? Not overnight, but you know, within a few days they can see some germination happening.
Neat. Okay, and I like this idea that you have different kinds of pots. Obviously, these are more of the decorative pots, but kids can plant directly right into these.
Definitely, and then they look a little bit nicer sitting on your kitchen window as they're sprouting.
Sure, but this is a cool idea.
These are great, especially if you have a garden outside. You can plant directly in these, and then these are a cocoa fiber, so they're all natural, and they can just plant directly into the ground afterwards, and they'll root out from there.
That is a great idea. So let's talk about maybe some of the seeds that you think would be ideal to introduce to some of the young kids.
Sure. The younger kids, you want to look for seeds that are a larger size. So something like these, the purple beans, which I love because they taste good too. But the size of the bean is easy for small fingers.
Okay, yeah, they're quite a large. I was actually surprised how large they were. So it's good. So they can actually see now. For say a pot this size, how many seeds would they put in?
Probably 3 to 5 realistically. Then they'll see the germination out of it, and then it's going to be a little bit fuller for when you plant it out as well.
Now with a pot like this, do they need to create drainage at all with rocks or stones?
For the amount of time that they're going to be in there, it's not quite as a concern. And then these ones also are porous, so you wouldn't want to put these on a tray just so that they're not going to ruin your windowsill.
Good idea.
You could even put those in one of these pots to keep the water in there.
Okay. And now in terms of soil, what would you suggest?
There are seed starting mixtures. It's just a lighter mix soil, so any potting soil would be suffice to do seeds.
Okay, so easy enough to do even this time of year, kind of get them going indoors, and eventually you can move them out. Now you were saying some of the beans, but you have other really cool packages of seeds that you think are good ideas.
Marigolds are also good, a little bit for older kids because the seeds are smaller, but it's good to show kids that the seeds don't necessarily always look the same, that these ones are a little bit different, and these are actually part of the flower that you're planting. Right. So there's lots of different little lessons that you can be involved when you're talking about them. And like there's also the fun seeds too, where this is just a regular sunflower, but you have a ray of sunshine, or there's other ones. These ones are dragons, but they're actually just snapdragon seeds. So it's all in the packaging to attract your kids, to get them a little bit more excited.
Well, that's the great part, is you can bring the kids into TERRA and let them kind of walk around and see how this all comes to be. That it's not just a it doesn't just whether it's growing outside or in a pot. That's not how it is. It has to start from something, right?
Yeah,
so you can kind of help pick the soil and help pick the seeds and walk around, and it becomes a process, right?
Exactly.
And it's just a really great family thing to do, I think, and again, kind of keeping the kids away from the video games and things like that, right?
Letting them get their fingers dirty.
Yeah, again, like we all did when we were kids, right? Playing outside in the gardens. So obviously some other products that you have even the tiniest little gloves, gardening gloves. They need gardening gloves too.
Exactly, yeah. If they don't like getting their fingers dirty, my little one doesn't. There's teeny tiny little garden gloves that fit on them. You can also get mother and kid gloves in the same style, just different sizes.
Okay, cool.
And there's even a kit that you can get that include all the little tools and the little gloves.
So you've got all the little digging tools, and I love the gloves, their own little bucket, and I mean, it just really makes it fun for them, right? Just lots of great options. I love this. There's all different types of patterns, but I really, really like this one for my little guy. So this is actually more of a smock style, which is so cool. So you've got both sides and the Velcro and everything, and just put it right on top of them, and this is good for everything.
It's good for everything. It's water resistant too, so you just wipe it clean. It's got a couple little pockets in there, so you can, you know, tuck your little seeds in there when they're going along.
Good for baking, finger painting, gardening, the whole 9 yards. But again, I love this idea. So there's a whole matching set. I mean, it comes with plates and little bibs and all kinds of great ideas. But this is really good for being outdoors with your kids and, being comfortable. And so with this whole concept, I know that you guys do when the kids can come in here and dig. But you also have this thing where they can come in and paint their own
yeah, we have little paint-a-pot programs, so you can bring your child in, and then they can have a little craft activity to do as well, to get them even more involved in it.
Okay, so that's the thing. So now, does that happen, like, you can bring them in any time and do that, or how do those work?
Usually on weekends, I think it is, that we usually have it all set up for them.
Yeah, so that's the thing. You can always go on the TERRA website as well, and you can find out more information about some of these programs. But really coming in the store, and what I love about it as the seasons, as we're going into spring now, really, you guys are getting more and more product in by the minute, right?
Yeah.
So really starting to see more introduced into the stores.
There's lots of kid-themed things coming in on a regular basis.
So that's always kind of nice, right? So again, talking about the whole idea and the concept of planting seeds with kids. What do you? I mean, you've already planted some with your kids. Yeah. What are their faves? What is the?
They like the purple beans because in the end, you know, when you're picking them, they are purple. When you cook them, they go a little bit green. But you know, the fact that you've got purple things that you're eating is really fun. They also like these beets because they're kind of like pinwheels, so they're not like regular purple beets, and they taste really good. They're a milder flavor, so like it's good for kids to introduce them to different types of foods. And sunflowers, especially the giant ones. We live in the country, so we can have like 6-foot flowers, and so when they grow bigger than your kid, then that's really fun. And
that's
they're like,
so cool.
wow, look at that, Mom.
So that's something that you could actually start in a little pot like this.
Start it in a little pot.
Okay.
And then by the end of the summer, it'll be 6 feet tall.
I love it. That's a really cool idea for kids. I think that's such a great concept. This is so cool. So again, you know, basically, would you say for like 3-year-olds, because a 3-year-old start doing something like this?
Probably 2, as long as, probably a 2-year-old, as long as they're away from the point of putting things in their mouth all the time, then you're pretty good.
Okay.
I'm going to try it with my 2-year-old this year, so I'll see how it goes.
All right, I'll try it too, and we'll see how things go, and wish the best of luck. So basically, you can come by TERRA, again, pick up some seeds anytime now. All the seeds are out. You can see them all behind us here. They're all ready to go, and get started, even for your own, right? There's all kinds of great things to get started, and move into the season. Get that head start
in the season.
Absolutely. All right, we're going to come back with more TERRA at Home, and we're all talking about kind of going into spring and really enjoying the whole concept of finally moving out of a winter that hasn't been too bad, but you know, we're here, and all the things are growing and blooming all around us, so looking forward to it. All right, we'll be back with more TERRA at Home right after this quick break.
Come and explore the new TERRA, where color lives.
AM 900 CHML is giving you more news when you want it most. Non-stop news weekday mornings 5 till 9, weekday afternoons 3 to 6, with weather and traffic on the 9s. Hear about it first from AM 900 CHML, Hamilton's news talk leader.
Welcome back to TERRA at Home, and of course, as we edge closer and closer to spring here, we thought we'd give you some great ideas. We're downtown here in Westdale, in the little village of Westdale. We're here with Elizabeth Marshall. Lofty Ambitions is the store, and I love the idea. So again, this is kind of a funky little sort of kind of modern approach to kind of freshening up your home. Right? Really cool ideas. You guys have only been here just, well, since last year, right?
So about 9 months
in
now.
business. Yeah, I think that's just so great. Now, let's talk about freshening up your home. One thing that designers always say is it doesn't have to be a big overhaul when you get into new seasons. It's about the little things, right?
Exactly.
Exactly. So let's talk a little bit about some of the great ideas that you have here today, and how we can kind of put those into our house.
Okay. Well, the first thing is don't be afraid to mix styles. We get a lot of people come in and they take a look around the store and they're like, oh, it's so modern, it's great. Yeah. I'll tell my kids about it. I live in a more traditional home. If I had a condo, it would be great. And that's, you really can't get into that kind of mentality because if you always bought exactly the same thing, your home would never change. No one can afford to redo their whole home at once. That's right. So what you need to look for is you look at the shape, the color, and the material. And if you can find a commonality there, then you can probably make it work. So something like this, if you have a home with maybe some wood and wrought iron railings, then the black metal here is going to play off that really well.
Okay, that makes sense. Right, and one thing I think that's a reminder of is that you're hearing that a lot with designers nowadays is that you don't need to have that same look all the way through, right, anymore. It's not about
just something cohesive, something to tie it together.
Sure. So it's not some random piece just sticking out.
Exactly.
Okay.
But also, if you take a look in the store and a piece doesn't always have to go with the same isn't going to look the same in every space. So something like this, if you were to put it in a loft, concrete floors, exposed ductwork, then the metal's going to take on a more raw and industrial look to it. So it's the same piece, but it can work in multiple settings.
Right, that's a great idea. I like that idea. Okay, and this is cool. Again, using pieces for other reasons, for other purposes.
Well, exactly, and we actually stole this idea from a customer. People are often intimidated by objects as decorative. They understand art on the wall as something to look at and you get excited and you feel something looking at that, but they don't, if they have a piece and it doesn't do something, they're like, well, what do I do with it? What's the point?
Right.
Yeah. So first, it is okay to have pieces that are just beautiful, but you can often use them in those really unexpected ways. So like I said, we stole this from a customer. All you have to do is take a few hand towels or face towels, roll them up, and put them inside. It's a great way to add some color to your bathroom, and they're always on hand, so it's really practical.
And a great way to use a piece, I know sometimes with season changes, I'll have pieces down in my basement, then I bring them back out, and I might not use them for the same reason. So it kind of freshens up that same piece that you had by giving it a different purpose.
Exactly.
So I like that idea. This is really cool for your pet. Make it look nice. Doesn't have to look like a pet area.
Well, exactly. A lot of times people spend a lot of effort picking out their sofa and those other big pieces, but then they have their mundane items for their pets. Maybe they're little plastic bowls with cute little paw prints on, which is great and fun, but does it really match the rest of their style? So something like this is really simple, really modern. They come in, we have them in black and white, all different sizes for cats up to dogs. The stainless steel bowls are good. They're not going to leach anything for your pets, and also the raised aspect is going to be better for their health. It actually reduces gas and improves digestion.
Oh, really?
Yep. So they're beautiful. They're going to make a statement in your home because your pet bowls are usually kind of sitting out all day in plain view in a hallway somewhere. And you get used to them, but people do notice.
Well, that's interesting because we don't eat in awkward positions, and we try to eat in a normal position, so it makes sense for an animal to do as well. I find my cat, he lays like literally flat on the ground and just puts his head in the bowl. I feel like I should do something more for him.
It's not the best for them when they're down like that because the food is trying to work against gravity.
Okay, well that's a good point, and I like all different sizes, so that's a very good idea. Okay, clocks.
Yeah, just another item that can be pretty mundane. You're like, oh, I have one of those digital clock radios. It tells me the time, or my microwave will tell me the time. Well, those aren't always in the most practical places, and they're not the nicest to look at. You want to have something maybe in your living room or your entrance hallway, and all of these are going to blend really well with your decor.
Sure.
The first one over there
is that an old record?
It is. It is.
It's an old record.
And that's really cool because it's a little piece of art. It's on a recycled vinyl record, and they're all hand painted by a local artist. So we have kind of cover all the bases there. Local, eco-friendly.
Good girl.
Yeah, exactly.
Very, very cool. Now, again, what I think I like is that we have to talk about these chairs at the front because you have all different types of pieces, but these chairs have a nice history to them.
Oh, yes. The Solaire chairs here, they are a great way to add a little bit of a fun and color to your outdoor space. They're really easy to take care of, but they're actually a part of Canadian design history. They were designed in 1972 by two Montreal architects, Fabio Fabiano and Michel-Ange Panzini, and they're still actually made in Quebec. They're still proudly made in Canada.
Isn't that great? And, okay, we should talk, again, colors. So can people order these through you then?
Yes, they can order any of these colors through us, and it's actually the same design. So if you have an old frame around and need a new shell to it, then you can actually order these and update that old piece. So it's kind of environmentally friendly there.
Yeah.
And what's nice is they actually will come apart, the shell will come off and they stack, and the base will stack. So they're easy to store for winter.
Oh.
Or you can bring them inside if you have a sunroom and use them all year round.
Well, I was going to say they would be great that you could use them technically.
Yeah, they can be used indoor, outdoor, but if you don't really have the space and you are concerned about storing your outdoor furniture, they do come apart to stack.
So let's talk again, you know, your space here, it's the concept of it again, it definitely has more of a modern edge, but I like how you said that you can sort of put that look within any home, really. So, you know, someone coming in and it's hard, I mean, with people nowadays, and the focus, it seems like there's color and then there's neutrals, and then there's, you guys can kind of help people out a little bit if they're a little lost with what to do with their space.
Yeah, I actually like when people kind of come in and they tell me like what they have or what they're kind of lost on, maybe bring pictures. A lot of times we do a bit of a combination. We do a lot of reproductions of kind of mid-century modern pieces, and then we do new modern pieces now. So if there's something you've kind of been searching for, if you bring in a picture, then it'll really help us out, kind of see if there's something, even if we don't have the exact same thing, we'll kind of try to find something really
kind of
similar to it.
Anyway, right?
Yeah.
And you have art too, as we were mentioning earlier as well, which is a nice way to change a space.
Yeah, art is a great way to change the space, and a lot of times you don't have to redo everything. What I do suggest though is take it all off of the walls, because when it's up on the wall, you're looking at it and you're really not properly imagining it somewhere else. Your brain is kind of tied to it there. Take it all down, look through it. If it's damaged and it can't be repaired, get rid of it. And if you don't love it anymore, get rid of it. If you were looking at the piece, look at it as though you were buying it for the first time. And if you wouldn't buy it, it shouldn't be in your home anymore.
Makes sense. Okay. All right, so before we wrap here, we should tell people that you also have online business. So basically people, and there's a lot even more available than in the store.
Yes, definitely. We have a lot of pieces online. We're a bit of a small boutique out in Westdale, but we want to offer a lot of selection. So if you go online, you'll find tons of dining room furniture and living room furniture and just lighting, tons of lighting, and you'll find a great selection.
Great. And area rugs as well?
Yes, we've just introduced those. So we have some samples in the store so you can actually get a chance to feel those and see all the colors, and then we have a great big catalog so you can order all sorts of designs.
That's great, and because they'll be more modern, I find a lot of times it's hard to find area rugs that don't have kind of a cool edge to them. A lot of them are old Persian style, right?
Yeah, no,
so
we have some with a lot of great color and a lot of great designs on. They're like art for your floor.
Very good. Well, thank you. This is actually a really fun store. And again, Elizabeth, we appreciate you coming in. It's called Lofty Ambitions. We're going to come back with more Terra at Home after this.
Come and explore the new Terra, where color lives.
AM 900 CHML is giving you more news when you want it most. Non-stop news weekday mornings 5 till 9, weekday afternoons 3 to 6, with weather and traffic on the 9s. Hear about it first from AM 900 CHML, Hamilton's news talk leader.
Welcome back to Terra at Home. We're here with Chef Rachel in our kitchen, and since it's St. Patty's Day, we thought we'd go a little green. Well, we're using greens today. And you know what? Spring just a few days around the corner. So this is a very springy and fresh and healthy.
Yes.
Good job. Okay, what are we making?
Okay, so we have a nice fresh salad with some berries, some fruit, a little bit of vegetables, almonds, and some fresh salmon fillets. We're going to glaze that with a grainy mustard maple glaze.
Nice.
Bake that in the oven and put it all together, and we'll have a nice.
This is healthy. This is good. This is one of my favorite meals. I was mentioning to you, I love the combination of any kind of protein, obviously a good lean protein, and a salad, and because there's so many options in what you could do.
Exactly.
Right. What you could add to it, you could shake it up every night. And make it different. So,
for sure. That's what I love about salad too, because you know, sometimes you think it could be boring having the same old Caesar or
that's what people kind of think of, like, it's just one same thing, but it's not.
No,
it's a lot of options.
Yep, you can put anything in it. So we're going to start off and get the salmon ready for the oven. I have the oven preheated to 350.
Okay.
And then, so very simple glaze, some grainy mustard, and a little bit of maple syrup.
Perfect.
Which is perfect for the springtime. So we'll mix that together, and then I'm just going to rub it on the salmon, and then these can go in the oven, and they won't take very long. The fillets aren't quite that big, so we'll keep an eye on it, but maybe 8-10 minutes or so.
Sure.
So we'll just put that in. So we have a little bit of a sweet mustard theme here because we're going to make our own salad dressing as well.
Okay.
Which is also another great
way
thing.
of changing it.
Exactly.
Right. Right, and that's another thing, being adventurous. And I noticed a lot of times you'll see, of course you have your vinegar as a base, you have often the mustard really makes a difference, whether you're using that or a different type of Dijon or something, right?
Yeah.
So that looks easy, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great, so we'll put that to the side. So let's move on to the dressing now, actually. Starting off with a little bit of oil. So again, for my dressing, I like to use like a mild oil, mild olive oil or a veg oil. Just so it doesn't overpower the rest of the salad. Vinegar. So my ratio is 3 to 1. So if we do 3 tablespoons of oil, we have 1 tablespoon of vinegar.
Okay.
That's kind of a rough guideline. I tend to like a little more vinegar, so I put a little more in, but when you're mixing it up, give it a try. We're going to use the same grainy mustard, but you can also use just a regular Dijon. And a little bit of honey to sweeten it up.
Okay.
So basically, like you said, there's so many different variations that you can do for dressings. Yeah. So, you know, if you change the vinegar, if you change, you know, the honey and put a little bit of sugar in instead.
Or maple.
Yeah,
maple
exactly,
syrup,
the kind of mustard you use.
Okay.
Sometimes I use raspberry vinegar, so that'll give it a little bit of a different flavor too. In this case, I'm using sherry vinegar. This is actually from my collection of vinegars. I just...
Her collection of vinegars.
My collection of vinegars. It's actually a really nice, it's a 50-year-old sherry vinegar. I don't use it that often.
That's nice. Okay.
But I thought we'd try it today for this salad.
Sure.
So normally I start off with, we're just going to do it in a small bowl here. So we have our mustard. Add the vinegar in. I'm not going to add it all quite yet, but, and then just whisk that together. Add in a little bit of the honey. And then it doesn't really matter what order you do this in, but I tend to put the oil in last. And so you'll see it emulsify. So as we mix, slowly pour the oil in, and you'll see it start to emulsify. So, anyways, really simple to do.
And it's great because you can make a fair amount of it, put it in the fridge, it'll keep for a while, and you know, and you're good.
There we go. So that's,
and again, no preservatives or anything like that in some of the store-bought stuff, right?
Exactly.
So you're just
you can definitely make really good salad dressings on your own with stuff that you're already going to have in your pantry.
Sure.
So you see how that's a little thick there? So that's all ready to go. Move this to the side. Now on to...
Oh, now on to the onion.
Yes.
Okay. Chef Rachel's going to show us how to julienne an onion. This is what we need to learn.
Right.
These are the secrets we need to know.
Okay, so first we want to cut off the top.
Okay.
Okay. Leave the root intact just so your onion doesn't fall apart when you're cutting it.
Right.
For now. For now. We'll cut it in half.
Okay.
We probably only need half. Okay, so now we'll peel this and
And this is going to make it a little less teary as well, would it?
I'm not quite sure about that, but we'll see, hopefully. Okay. Now we have half of our onion here.
Yep.
I'm starting to tear up already. I can smell it.
There goes that theory.
So cut it on an angle down like that. You can use this for anything else later. You don't have to get rid of it. Okay. Now we can cut the root off. We'll go in that way.
Oh.
Okay. And so now you see that there's, every onion's different, but I want to take out this part in the middle. Okay. Because you can kind of see how that's funky and there's a couple different pieces there. Sure. So again, we can use that for something later. Now you have a nice even piece of onion here. So when we cut it, when we julienne it, everything's going to be nice and even. And that's what I like about this. So another presentation trick. So then we want to start cutting this way.
Okay, so you're going opposite of the way I thought you were going. Okay.
Yes. And that's the thing. Everyone thinks that you cut it the other way. Yeah. I mean, I'm exactly the same. When I first started, I thought the same as well. So, yeah, it's a little different. So when you cut it like this, you have nice even pieces.
You do, and it looks professional.
Yeah. So I think that's a good little trick.
It is a good trick. That is really good. I thank you. I will try that next time I try an onion. Look at that. It looks nice.
Yeah. So that's like a perfect julienne. And like I said, my first couple times cutting an onion definitely didn't look like that, but it's nice and even. So we can put that to the side.
Very good. Okay, so just before we head to break, we should we got the avocado, of course, a really good fat.
Yeah.
And you just have to make sure they're at the perfect ripe stage.
Exactly. So we're just gonna slice this up.
Okay.
Throw it in the salad as well. I have some fresh apple, slivered almonds, feta cheese, and some raspberries. So we're gonna mix that all in together with the dressing. We'll put the salmon in the oven.
Okay.
And when it all comes out, we'll put it all together.
We'll put it all together, make it look pretty. We'll be right back after this quick break with Terra at Home.
Come and explore the new Terra, where color lives.
AM 900 CHML is giving you more news when you want it most. Non-stop news weekday mornings 5 till 9, weekday afternoons 3 to 6, with weather and traffic on the 9s. Hear about it first from AM 900 CHML, Hamilton's news talk leader.
Welcome back to Terra at Home, and we are finishing up this beautiful salad that Chef Rachel's making for us. Very healthy salad, lots of good colorful components. And okay, let's see. You have a technique to making your salad.
Yeah, I like to layer it.
Okay.
I like to layer it because if you throw everything in and toss it together, yeah, all of the good stuff's going to be at the bottom.
It's true. It does end up that way, and it gets all broken up too.
So I do layer it.
Okay.
So I've got this big bowl here just because I want to be able to mix everything well.
So slices of onion, slices of apple, and avocado. I like that. That's good.
Some of our almonds, cheese, feta cheese. You can use any kind of cheese. Goat cheese works well too. Okay. One of my favorites. Some raspberries.
That looks so pretty.
So it looks
Look
good.
how pretty that looks.
A little bit of dressing, and then I'll do another layer.
Okay.
And then finish it off with everything else on top. Yeah, and then
so you're kind of mixing in between each layer, so that again you're just mixing a nice balance of it.
Yeah.
There's tons of greens, a little bit of stuff.
Right. So in every bite you're gonna get some.
Okay.
So I'll just do this one more time. And the salmon didn't take very long, 8-10 minutes.
And so you basically just, you know, you can kind of throw it in there, take a look at it. You want it to be nice and soft and flaky, and you never want to overcook your salmon. Oh,
no.
It just gets...
If anything, just undercook it a little bit.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
For sure. So, to your liking. There we go. Well, the colors are so pretty in this.
Yeah, it is. It's great.
All right. So, I think...
This is a perfect, nice sort of spring sort of feel to the salad. Of course, you can always get the recipes online at terragreenhouses.com. And again, just a nice, a nice combination of flavors for the dressings and things that you can mix. So it makes it, again, lots of options in a salad at home. And then I guess at this point, you just plate it on your plate. You've got your salmon. Again, you can use any meat. You could grill chicken. You could do whatever.
Yeah.
And you're good to go. And you always say you add a couple pieces at the end of the vegetables or the fruit just to kind of make it look pretty.
Right. So then you have you can see all of your ingredients right on the top.
Perfect.
We're gonna put the salmon on top too.
Do it. And we're gonna head off. Close our show, but we'll let you make it look very, very pretty. And again, thank you so much for joining us here at Terra at Home, airing every Saturday morning. There we go. Beautiful.
There we are.
Come and explore the new Terra, where color lives.